Nobody taught you this rule. Not your parents, not your school, not any motivational video you've ever watched. And the reason is simple. The people who know it don't talk about it. That's the rule. That's the entire rule. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why silence is the most powerful financial strategy ever discovered. Not silence as in being shy, not silence as in giving up, silence as a weapon, silence as architecture. The invisible foundation that every real wealth builder has been using for centuries, while everyone else was busy announcing their plans to people who were never going to help them anyway. Let's start with something uncomfortable. Think about the last time you told someone your goal, a business idea, a plan to save money, a new income stream you were excited about. What happened next? Maybe they smiled. Maybe they said, "That's great." Maybe they asked a few questions, and then slowly, your energy for it faded. Not because the idea was bad, because something invisible happened the moment you spoke it out loud. Science now has a name for this. It's called substitution. When you tell someone your goal, your brain partially registers the social reaction as progress. You haven't done anything, but your brain felt the reward of doing something. And so, quietly, without you even noticing, your drive decreases. You spoke the fire out. Machiavelli observed this 500 years before the research existed. He wrote that men who announce their intentions invite two enemies. The first is external, those who will now work against you. The second is internal, the satisfaction that kills your hunger before the work is done. Both are lethal, both are completely self-inflicted, and both are completely avoidable. Part 1. The announcement trap. Here's what nobody tells you about the people who celebrate your plans. They're not investing in your future, they're consuming your energy. Every question they ask pulls you into narration mode. You start explaining what you're going to do instead of doing it. You start defending your vision instead of building it. You start performing ambition instead of practicing it. And the most dangerous part? It doesn't feel like failure. It feels like you're just waiting for the right moment. But the right moment already passed. It passed the night you talked about it instead of starting it. This is the announcement trap. And almost everyone falls into it, not because they're lazy, not because they don't care, but because the brain is wired to find the shortest path to reward. And talking about what you're going to do feels almost identical to actually doing it. Wealthy people discovered a different hack centuries ago. They stopped announcing. They started building, and the only update they gave the world was the result. Part 2. What happens? When people know your plan, let's be honest about something most self-help content refuses to say. Not everyone who smiles at your plan is happy about your plan. Some of them are calculating. Some of them are quietly threatened. And some of them, without even realizing it, will say exactly the right thing at exactly the wrong time to make you doubt yourself. Are you sure that's realistic? I knew someone who tried that. Just be careful. None of those people are evil, but all of those conversations have the same effect. They introduce doubt at the exact moment you need certainty. They slow you down at the exact moment you need momentum. And they make you explain yourself, which is the one thing you should never have to do while building. Machiavelli called this the danger of premature visibility. He observed that great men were not usually stopped by their enemies. They were slowed down by the people closest to them, the ones who meant well, the ones who were just asking questions. There is a specific type of person in every social circle who plays this role. They don't know they're doing it, but the effect is real. The moment you share what you're building, they begin to define it. They put a box around it, a size limit, a risk assessment. And once that box exists in your mind, you start building to fit inside it. Instead of building as big as the vision actually demands. Part 3. The 4 people draining your wealth before it exists. Machiavelli mapped the human landscape around every rising person. Not with hatred, with precision. There are 4 types of people in your life right now. And all 4 of them, without any bad intention, can quietly kill your financial future. Type 1, the enthusiast. This person genuinely wants good things for you, but they want to celebrate before the work is done. Every conversation with them becomes a progress report. Every update you give them pulls energy out of execution and into narration. They're not your enemy, but they are a leak, a slow, warm, friendly leak. Type 2, the protector. This person loves you, which is exactly why they're dangerous. They present their fear as care, their doubt as wisdom, their hesitation as experience. And if you engage, if you argue, explain, defend, you spend ammunition on a battle that doesn't move you forward. Silence with the protector is not defeat. It is efficiency. Type 3, the observer. this person is also building something, and they are paying close attention to what you share. Not maliciously, just strategically. Information is leverage, and every detail you reveal is leverage they now have. Type 4, the carrier. This person has no stake in your success or failure, but information moves through them like water through a pipe. Your plans, your timeline, your fears. Shared casually, absorbed without intent, dispersed without control. Machiavelli's instruction for all 4 types was identical. Guard the vault. What is inside the vault? Your strategy, your numbers, your direction belongs to no one but you until it is done. Part 4. How silent builders, Alash, actually operate. So what does this actually look like? Because silence isn't just about what you don't say. It's about how you structure your entire operation. Silent builders share 5 behaviors. Every single one of them. Behavior 1, they consume more than they produce publicly. They study constantly. Markets, people, systems, history. But they don't broadcast the learning. The knowledge compounds internally. And eventually, it expresses itself as results, not posts, not announcements, results. Behavior 2, they decide before they announce. They do not crowdsource their direction. They do not ask for permission. They do not post polls about their next move. They decide, they move, and if they report at all, it's only after the outcome is already locked. Behavior 3, they protect their income information completely. How much they make, where it comes from, what they're investing in. This information is vault-level classified, not for tax reasons, for power reasons. The person whose financial position is unknown cannot be calculated against, cannot be envied precisely, cannot be targeted specifically. Behavior 4, they let others talk in every room, every meeting, every conversation. The silent builder asks questions, listens completely, and speaks only when the information they deliver serves a calculated purpose. They understand one unbreakable law. The person who talks the most controls the room the least. Behavior 5, they measure progress privately. No public accountability posts, no monthly income reports. No, here's where I am on my journey content. Their milestones are celebrated alone or with one trusted person. Maximum 2, because every milestone shared publicly becomes a target, and targets attract interference. Part 5, the psychology behind why this works. Here's the part most people find hardest to accept. Talking about your goals and achieving your goals activate similar reward pathways in the brain, which means for your brain, they feel almost the same. This is not a metaphor. This is biology, and it explains why so many intelligent, motivated people announce ambitious plans and then quietly never follow through. It's not lack of discipline. It's not lack of desire. It's that the brain already collected part of the reward. Through the announcement, silent builders have, either consciously or instinctively, solved this problem. By refusing to collect the reward early, they delay the social payoff. They withhold the announcement. They keep the hunger alive, by keeping the vault closed. And that hunger, that sustained, unspent drive, is the actual engine of wealth. Not intelligence, not connections, not luck. Hunger that hasn't been fed yet. Part 6, the envy equation. Now let's talk about something nobody wants to say out loud. When you rise, people will not celebrate you the way you expect. Not because they're bad people, but because human nature doesn't reward visibility with goodwill, it rewards it with calculation, with comparison, with a quiet assessment of how your progress reflects on their own choices. Machiavelli wrote about this in detail. He observed that the people most likely to oppose a rising man were not strangers. They were the people who knew him well enough to feel the comparison directly. Friends, former peers, family members who remember when you were exactly where they still are. This is not cynicism. This is pattern recognition that has held true across 5 centuries. And the solution Machiavelli proposed was not isolation. It was operating below the threshold of envy. Move quietly. Build invisibly. Let people underestimate you. Not because you are weak, but because underestimation is armor. When nobody knows what you're building, nobody can dismantle it. When nobody tracks your progress, nobody calculates your threat level. When nobody sees the vault being filled, nobody comes for it before it's ready to be defended. Part 7, when to finally speak. Here is the part that most people miss. Machiavelli did not say stay silent forever. He said, control the timing of your revelation. The general who reveals his position too early loses the element of surprise. The general who reveals his position at exactly the right moment dictates the entire engagement. There is a moment to be visible, but that moment is yours to choose. not forced upon you by impatience, not pulled out of you by someone else's curiosity, not triggered by your own need for validation. The right moment to share what you've built is when the foundation is so solid that no opinion, no envy, no interference can touch it. When the vault is full, when the position is locked, when the outcome is no longer a plan, but a fact. That is when you open the doors, that is when you let the world see. And by then, it no longer matters what they think. Most people will watch this video, and then they will go tell someone about it. They'll explain the concept. They'll share the idea. They'll feel like they've done something. But the ones who actually use it will close this video, open something they've been avoiding, and start building quietly without telling anyone. The vault doesn't advertise what it holds. That is precisely what makes it a vault. If this shifted something in you, the next video will show you exactly where your money is leaking right now. Subscribe. The vault is open, but only for those who know how to keep a secret.